Hey, how you going and welcome. It's Friday the 9th of April and this is episode 5 of Beers with Ben. Today on the show we're going to have a chat about what's going on in the news at Catlands. There's a few things happening in the last 7 days or so. I'm going to have a look at the Twitter comments, that's always a bit of fun. And a few milestones coming up this week, so Grind being one of them. I think Joshy Jenkins might even be a sneaky milestone if he gets picked as well. Anyway, grab your favourite drink, put on a nice warm pair of socks, let's go! How you going, Cats fans? Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. We had a win against Hawthorn last week and a couple in a row. That's always put me in a good mood for this kind of show. So, yeah, anyway, today on the show I mentioned off the top, I do want to do a bit of a shout-out to start the show off, I guess. A couple of the boys, I think there's 3 of them at the Cats. God, it's a hard name to say, boys. Anyway, they've been really good. We've had some really interesting chats through the week on Twitter and whatnot. So really, really like their show. They've got you can listen to it, I think, on Spotify. I'm not sure if it's on Apple Podcasts as well, but go to them. Just search them on Spotify. I'll put the link in the show notes as well, so you can check them out. Definitely, it's a fan. If you're a Cats fan, and you love talking about blokes or anyone talking about the Catters for an hour and a half, sometimes even up to 2 hours. They boys just get stuck in and have a deep dive. It's a good listen, so yeah, have a look in the show notes for that link. Can't recommend them highly enough. A couple of other YouTubers, it's all a bit of a love in at the moment. You know, we've got to support each other, but a couple of other YouTubers that do a good job talking about cats and doing good highlight videos of the cats is Tissio, I think it is, 100, Tissio 100, and Giuseppe, a couple of blokes I've been having a chat to through the week as well. So so check them out. They're on YouTube. I'll put their links in the comment section or the chat section, the notes section. Sorry, I should say, a bit later on. So fantastic content. Really good videos. I think it was a good one today that Tissio put up about the Cats from 2010 when they were smashing, wasn't smashing I think, but playing Essendon. It was a great game. Just looking back on those years, it's just amazing how well the boys were going. It's fantastic. So I miss that side. I mean, I love the Cats from today as well, but oh my god, you look at those videos from the late noughties and the early 2010s, it's just amazing how good we were. Anyway, so yeah, check those guys out. Can't recommend highly enough. They're fantastic. What am I drinking this week? Ballistic Beer and Co. The Hawaiian Haze Pale Ale. There you go. So that's not bad actually. I've got it actually in I've got myself a glass to have that one. So that's quite a nice little hazy pale ale there. That's enjoying that quite a little bit. Anyway, on with the show. So what's been happening in the news this week? I'm all dirty. That Kyle Hardigan bloke from Hawthorn, he pretty much just took out half of Hawkins' skull. Twice, actually. Once when he tried to spoil the ball 3 minutes after Hawkins marked it, and another time when he landed, full on just put his elbow in him on the way down. Umpire gave away the 50, fair enough, that was there. And then the match review panel just, nothing to see there. It's the luckiest bloke in football, that guy. Anyway, if it was Hawkins, yeah, it would have been done. He'd been shackled up, put in a dungeon somewhere, and you'd never hear from him again. Paddy's probably the same. Stevie J, even worse probably. Anyway, so well done, Kyle Hardigan. You got off. Typical Hawks getting off. They always seem to get off these things, but whatever. We won't dwell on it for too long. I'm not happy about it though, I'm telling you. Isaac Smith got a little slap. I think he got a fine for misconduct against Howe from Hawthorn. Not much in it, but whatever. Good on him. You got to fine a Geelong player every week. You got to suspend a Geelong player every week. Good for you. Good stuff, MRO or MRP or whatever your name is. Anyway, Chris Scott's been on the news. I think he was on that Footy Classified show during the week. He's talking about his brother for the most part, but also talking about how the coaching gig's pretty tough. I'm pretty sure it would be one of the toughest jobs in the world, or not the world, but it's a highly stressful job, clearly. And I think. I get frustrated. I'm sure we'll get into the content a little bit later about the game style, but he cops a bit of crap. Good old Chris Scott, and I was just thinking about him the other day, and I get frustrated sometimes as well. But I was just thinking, I was remembering the other day that he pretty much coached the whole year with no paycheck at all. So he's a good Geelong man. We might not always agree with his game style and what he's doing, and we might not fully understand everything either. But because we're not privy to the inner sanctum at the Cats. But he's a good bloke. I hope he hangs around for a little while longer. I'm still confident the Cats will find their a style that's going to be more conducive to beating the teams at the higher end of the ladder, like Richmond. Clearly, what we've got at the moment is not working, but I'm convinced they've gone away over summer and had a good look at that. And they're going to make some adjustments here and there. I don't think they're going to completely reinvent everything, but a little tweak here and there might make the difference. So we'll see how we go on that one. Saw Guthrie had a perfect 10 from the coaches. Speaking of coaches, from the Hawthorn game, clearly he was best on ground. I think the chat boys didn't have him best on. I don't know what you guys were talking about. Like, oh my God, I had him clearly. Then daylight. Menangola, the Shark. Mark O'Connor was great as well, but I can't believe you guys didn't have Guthrie as your number one. But anyway, it's subjective, these things. Definitely had Guthrie number one, Menangola number two for me on the ground. I can't remember who had number three. I might do a little video about that. Hopefully before the Sunday game anyway. I might do a separate video about my votes each week, just a little 1 or 2 minute video about that. So anyway, and Chappie was in the news as well. I don't know if you saw his little tweet. I don't know if it's an official Chappie because it's not verified or anything, but I think it's the Paul Chapman Twitter account. Anyway, he was going on about he was having a crack at the Hawthorn fans, like all us Geelong supporters do, but he was having a crack about him because they were booing Isaac Smith. So yeah, I think you're right there, Chappie. If it was one of our boys that had won three or four premierships over the years, and like Ablett was a good example, and yeah, there's probably a couple of Geelong supporters in the crowd, but I don't think we had 30,000 of us strong were booing Ablett when he came back to Gidea Park that time. It might have been a smattering of people out there giving him a boo, but I remember people standing up and applauding him, especially when he kicked that goal from the boundary after the game was already won from the Catters. But you don't boo blokes that have given so much to your club. You show them a bit of respect. It's just a game of footy at the end of the day. Isaac Smith didn't seem to be too worried about it, but who knows? I'm sure it would hurt me a little bit if I'd given, say, like 10 years or so to the club and then these supporters just wanted to have a crack at me because I'm playing the hoops. It must be hard for the Hawks, though, seeing one of their own wearing the hoops. I know what it was like. It takes me back a long time ago that... what's his name, Lord, when he went over there. I couldn't, made me sick watching him in the Pilnui colours, but anyway. All right, what else is... Cats ticked over 50,000 members, so well done if you're a member that signed up. If you're not a member or you can't afford it, that's okay as well. But if you can afford it and you have signed up as a member, that's fantastic. The club appreciates that. I think it's great when that everyone sort of supports the club, especially at the moment where there's a lot of uncertainty about whether we'll get to games or whether we'll get a seat, get to even turn up. So the fact that we've still got 50,000 members is a really good thing. We ummed and ahed about it a little bit. In the end, we just decided, look, that's the right thing to do it for the club. The club needs the money, and last thing I want to see is us go the way of Fitzroy and just not be around, and that can happen. Before you know it, if 40,000 or 30,000 people decide not to sign up as members, sadly these things can happen. So, the club still needs a bit of help. So, if you're thinking about signing up and you haven't done so yet, please give it some consideration if you can afford it. But clearly, if you can't, that's fine as well. And just make sure you cheer extra loud for the boys on the TV, or if you're at the game, just to make up for it. Alrighty. What else is there? They started the search. I think they've started the search for Brian Cook, his replacement. There's a couple of names being thrown around. I think some bloke who's working for the Oakley Sunglasses Company, and James Sutherland, the former cricket CEO or whatever he was, he's on the board now at the moment. A couple of other names. So I hope they can convince Brian Cook to change his mind and stay on another few years. But we've had him for 21 odd years now, so he's done his time. I'd love him for another 21 years, but eventually he's got to move on and look for something else to keep him going, or go into retirement, which he's well and welcome to do as well if that's what he wants to do. So hopefully we get the right person for the job, and hopefully we can somehow convince Cookie to hang around a little bit longer. That'd be nice as well. And the only other news for the week is that if you didn't catch it last night, they announced the fixtures for round 7 and round 8. So a part of that is the grand final rematch against Richmond, round 8 on a Friday night at the MCG. So that'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully both teams are going reasonably well at that point in time, because that'll be a really massive blockbuster game if we're 6-2 and they're 6-2 or something like that, and top of the top 4, top 5 around that mark. Be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we put out against Richmond. Clearly, it's going to be tough for us on the MCG. It's very rare that Richmond loses on the MCG. Yes, we know they lost against Sydney on the weekend, but every team has a little blip throughout the year, and I wouldn't sort of write Richmond off anytime soon. Just like I wouldn't write Geelong off yet from losing Adelaide round 1. But I'm looking forward to that round out game. I've already penciled that one in. I can't wait for that one. Anyway, I'll just take a quick break, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about what's been going on Twitter. All right, so what have we got on Twitter at the moment? So I put the call out a few days ago or last night. So, oh boys, the cats. I'm still going to struggle to say. I'm just going to say the triple C's. It's outstanding to think that Melbourne were in a prelim final back in 2018. I was gobsmacked when I was researching for the pod this week. Yeah, they've. I can't believe. Yeah, it was. They smashed us in that final. I said I went to the final with Beck, partner, and I said to her, I've got a bad feeling about this. I reckon they're going to kick 5-0 in the first quarter. And sure enough, that happened. And then it's just like Geelong does, we give up an early lead and we fight our way back. And, just too much done in the end anyway. So, but yeah, no, I can't believe I don't know how they made the prelim that year. They last year was rubbish, and this year they're off to a good start. They've beaten a couple of dud teams. If they beat us, I'll give them a pat on the back, but I'm not jumping on the Melbourne bandwagon just yet. I haven't seen enough from them at the moment to give enough stuff about them. So thanks Triple C's or the cats if I can get that out. Ramos UTD says, who do you think is next to debut? And what has happened to Narkle? Well, I think Narkle has been zapped into another universe or something like that because no one talks about him anymore, and it's like he just never played. He was almost entrenched in the 22 last year, wasn't he? At some stage, or part of the year he was anyway. And then the coaches have just gone off him, and he's probably had an injury or two here and there as well. So I'd love to see Narkle come back, Ramos. I'd love to see him get another chance. I think he's fantastic when he's on. But there's only 22 and a bit and some change guys that can get on the team. So hopefully at some stage through the year he gets an opportunity and he makes the most of it. But, at this stage it's not looking too positive. There seems to be a bit of a queue to get a game for the Catters at the minute. Mel, second week in a row, Mel, you've had a run. So Mel says, fun fact, Grind's 50 games have been consecutive since his debut. So I think Mel's talking about Grind's 50-game milestone this weekend. Yeah, he's had 50 games straight. Can't believe that. These things sort of sneak up on you. It feels like he's just debuted a year ago, but it's crazy. He's 50 games in a row, so he's clearly very durable, and he hasn't been dropped yet. I'm sure a few of us have been calling for his head the last few weeks, but hopefully Grind will build on a bit of an improved game from last week. He's pretty impressive in the first half. Hopefully he'll just continue that, and we'll see the Grind that we love over the next few weeks. Then he really just gets a bit of confidence back, because there's nothing better when you're seeing Grind Myers just going nuts on the MCG or at Cardinia Park. So thanks, Mel. Derek Francis says, to celebrate, another one about Grind, to celebrate his 50th game, we should put a G at the start of all our names. Derek, or Gerrick, I'm not sure if the D's silent on that one, Derek. Good idea, Derek. I've done the same thing. So what am I G beers with Ben at the moment? So until we win on Sunday night, I'm assuming we win Sunday afternoon, we're going to win. I'll leave it there till Monday for you there, Derek. So got to do something. Got to give Grind, even if you've been down on Grind the last couple of weeks, give him a bit of love this week. Try and hold your fire a little bit, and I'm sure he'll turn it around. He's definitely capable, and when Grind's going well, the Cats are going well. So let's hope Grind puts in a good one for us. Thanks, Derek. Liam says, Dalhouse, where's the goals, son? And will we see Kruger this year? Yeah, I think Dalhouse has taken over Grind Myers, hasn't he, Liam? He's the one that everyone wants gone at the moment. He's given us donuts on the field. And, who knows if he's carrying something or if we just need him to play because there's no one else at the minute. But hopefully he's another one that if he keeps his spot this week, which is not a certainty, I've got a sneaking suspicion he probably won't keep his spot. But if he does, let's hope that he's just gradually building a fitness level. I think he missed a fair bit of the pre-season, so hopefully he's building up a bit, and he's got some messages from the coaches, and he realises that I'm sure he's doing his best as they all are, but we need to see something for him, and we need to give if he can't do it, we've got to give someone else an opportunity. It's a pretty I'm liking the depth we've got this year. We've got a few injuries which I'm not too happy about, but if there's someone else that can fill the role, might want to give him a chance. So Brad Close, talking about you. Anyway, Lil, I think you had a run on the chat on the comments last week, Lil. But Lil says in terms of ins and outs, she wants a bit more. Not so much a player, but she wants some speed, accuracy at goal, and outs. She wants She wants to get rid of the clumsy basic footy skills. Yeah, I know. I'm feeling you, Lil. I'm feeling you. I love a bit of speed on the wings there. We've got the weapons. Why aren't we using them? I know we haven't got Rowan at the moment, but goodness me, we've got Rowan and Clark and Smith. Can we maybe just get the ball going a little bit quicker? Yeah, when we've got all them back and we've got Cameron in the team, I'm sure that changes the way we play a little bit. So let's hope that we can get them all in the park at the same time and then see what the style looks like at that point in time. But yeah, let's hope that we can kick straight. We did kick the first 3 goals straight against Hawthorn last week, so let's see a little bit more of that. Let's hope we see some more of that, and let's just hope we don't do these silly turnovers. It's round 4 now. You can forgive them a little bit for the first couple of rounds. Coming off. Until you actually get into the game, it's a little bit harder to execute. But 3 weeks in now, 4th game. Come on, we're not going to be as forgiving of little stupid errors now, especially from a team that made the grand final last year. And what's your wish list? So you want Close to play? Yep, me too. I agree with that one. No more injuries. We've had a few, haven't we? No more mid or long-term injuries. And you want a dynamic game strategy throughout the match, and a bit of nastiness from players at the moment. The quarter time siren goes. I think you're right. We've got to temper it a little bit in terms of not going over the top. Hawkins, I'm looking at you. Let's not get suspensions or anything like that. But let's show a little bit. Let's show we care. And we've got a bit of pride on the line. We're still 2-1. Opposition supporters and the media aren't overly flattered with us at the moment. A lot of people are saying we should be 0-3. So maybe it's time to sort of make a stand and show them that what we're really capable of there, Lil. So thanks for your comment there. And the final comment is from David Hards, or Hardsy 05. Go Gazza. I think that's maybe that's nothing to do with Gary Ablett at all. Anyway, David, ins for David. He's got this week Melbourne finals chances. Ooh, you must be a Melbourne supporter, David. Anyway, if you're listening to this show, good on you. Hopefully you've hung around this long to hear what the show's about. Maybe you've got some Geelong mates you can point them in the direction of this show. That'll be great. Out snow season. Well, don't go too early there, David. I don't know about that. I reckon it still might be worthwhile booking your tickets to Mount Buller or wherever. Don't cancel your accommodation just yet, especially when you're 3-1 after this weekend, and then possibly 3-3 and. Yeah, season will just fall apart. But anyway, good luck to you. Hopefully your boys go okay, but we still smash you anyway. I don't know how that works, but anyway, hopefully you enjoy the game and watch how our real team goes about it there, David. Anyway, thanks for your comment. Appreciate that. Oh, what are you? Sorry. In Geelong, Scott plan. Chris Scott plan B. Yeah, I agree with that one, David. Mythical beast. Out mediocre footy. Hopefully, yeah. Nah, you're right, David. I think a few of the Geelong supporters are saying the same thing. We want to see a bit of quality football. We want to see football played the way it should be played. So thanks for your comment there, David or Hardsy. Anyway, so thanks for that. So yeah, I think Mel was talking about Brian Myers playing his 50th game. He's not the only milestone game potentially this weekend. One that's not been talked about at all, I've never heard anyone mention it, is Josh Jenkins is currently sitting on 149 games, and he's a sneaky chance to get picked when the teams come out. So I wouldn't be surprised if he cracks the 150. I think he's probably done enough over his career to deserve to tick that one off. I hope he does at some stage this year, whether it's this week or another week. But yeah, we'll see how he goes on. Probably his best chances while Cameron's not playing, I guess. But it might be weather dependent. The weather's looking pretty bad on Sunday, so they might go with a smaller forward lineup for that reason. So he might miss out on that if that's going to be the case. So, but yeah, if he plays, get around him, give him some love. Don't be too hard on the bloke. Remember, he's just a top-up player for us, so he sounds like a pretty good bloke. He says a couple of things on the socials now and then, so he sounds like a nice guy. So get around him, get around Brian, get around Mitch Duncan as well if you want. He's about to clock over. I don't really care about these things, but I noticed that when I was doing a bit of research for the show, he's about to clock up his 5,000th touch of the leather, so he'd probably do that pretty early, I'd say. In the game, he'd probably end up with 50 touches. He nearly had 40 last week on his first game back, but Mitch Duncan just killed it, didn't he? He didn't dispose of it that well, I must admit, but geez, he had a ton of it. Anyway, so just a quick look at who's the injury lists at the moment. We've got Frank the Tank Evans, did his ankle, so that's not looking good actually. He's looking like he might be out for a while there, so they're sort of suggesting maybe more of a medium-term injury there, which to me sounds like 8 to 10 weeks or something like that. So we'll wait and see on that one. Shawnee Higgins, he's got done the hammy and the thumb apparently. So it sounds like he's going to be out for 2 or 3 weeks of hammy anyway. So I thought we may as well do his thumb because he's probably going to carry that all year. If we can fix it up now, give him a couple more weeks off, and now's the time to do it. You may as well do these things earlier in the year, and maybe there's another player to come in and can take his spot for a few weeks. But clearly, you don't want any injuries at all, but if you're gonna have to fix these things up, fix them up now. And just quickly whipping through a few others. Clearly, Cameron, that sounds like they just being really, really cautious with him, unless they're not telling us why he's not playing. But I guess they don't want him to ping another hammy, a little silly, little innocuous incident, just ping another hammy and have to go through this all over again. So it sounds like they're giving him another week for sure, and then we'll see what happens, whether he plays against North or the week after that. I think it's Kilda. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, hopefully he's back soon. We get to see Geelong roll out this game style that we know that they're capable of. All us fans want to see. Just the other two. Sam Menegol looks like he's pretty much almost 99% coming back. So after his AC joint, shoulder injury, so he should be back. And some positive signs, I guess. Well, that's the spin from the club anyway. Some positive signs from Radagalair and Sam Simpson, the washing machine. Hopefully he comes back because I loved his efforts last year. Radagalair drove me crazy last year, but I still have high hopes for the guy, and I'm quite confident he'll eventually turn around if he can sort of get over his injuries and get another run at it. He's usually better at the beginning and the end of the season when the track's a bit drier. He just seems to lose his feet a little bit in the wet in the middle part of the year. So hopefully he'll get back on the park as well. Hopefully we won't get too many more injuries out of this weekend's game and we can start getting the boys back to full health again. Our next game, which I've mentioned already, is against Melbourne at the MCG on Sunday afternoon at 3:20. Last time we played the D's, it was at the MCG, and we didn't play. It was a really low-scoring game. It was like 40 to 40 something. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was a 3-point game in the end, and Melbourne nearly beat us. I think they smashed us in the fourth quarter, and we nearly choked it. So that's just given me fears, thinking the last 2 games we played against Brisbane and Hawthorn, it's almost the same horror story, isn't it? So let's hope that this doesn't happen again, third week in a row. That's assuming we're going to get the win. I think it'll be a really close game. Hopefully, if it's a close game, hopefully it's much more high scoring and it's a really exciting game to watch with high skills and no one gets injured. And I'm hoping that the Shark Marco has another big game. Hopefully, he goes to probably Clayton Oliver's the guy I reckon he should go to. Seems to be a reasonably good match for him. I don't really feel a lot of confidence him going to Petrarca. That doesn't seem like the right matchup for me, but I'm not a coaching selection committee around that, so we'll see how they go. See what they do around that, but you'd imagine he'd have another tagging role because they've got a pretty strong midfield with Viney is another one in there, and those 3 Melbourne boys played really well against us last time. I think they were in their better players. Our better players from last time, surprise, was Cam Guthrie. He could be in for another few more votes this week. So him and Menengola and Danger were the 3 for us that were probably our best on ground. And Parfitt, probably just a shade outside that group, but he had another 9 tackles. He's just a tackling machine. So if you haven't noticed Parfitt's tackling, I don't know what you're looking at, but keep an eye on that next time around because he gets caught with the ball sometimes, but geez, he lays a few tackles as well. So. And he just seems to be year after year gaining in confidence. So keep an eye out for his 1%er and little pressure efforts that he does. I really respect the bloke. I just hope that he just gets better and better as he goes along. Last time we had a couple of quiet players. A couple of players were a bit down. Gary Gazza was down, didn't really do a whole lot. Gary Rowan didn't do a really whole lot. Neither did Adkins. He was just pretty quiet the whole game. Tommy was wasteful with 1 goal 3. So, clearly Gary's not playing this time around. Rowan's not playing either. But you'd hope for a bit more from Adkins. We've seen a little bit from him this year. Played pretty well last weekend. And Hawkins you'd expect a bit more from him this time around. But it might be weather dependent. Hopefully he goes all right in the wet, Tommy, anyway. So hopefully he's a bit of an influence and can kick it 1 or 2 couple of goals for us. That'd be nice. And we had Harry Taylor and Reece Stanley didn't play last time either. So clearly Harry's not playing again. But we were a bit short on the ruck stocks last time. So I think Radigalea might have been our main guy in the ruck. We might have rotated. I can't remember the other bloke who was doing. Darcy Ford, I think it was. He might have kicked a goal that game too. But yeah, a couple of those boys sort of shared the ruck duties. But I think we probably, maybe we wouldn't all agree. But I personally think Stanley's probably our best choice. That's probably a bit of a weak link in our team, or one of our weak links, the ruck department. But as far as rucks go, I think Stanley's my number one for us that we've got to pick from. So I'm happy to go with him, and I'm happy. Hopefully he's not late out or anything like that. Just a couple more things before we finish the show. There's a VFL match on. If you're in Geelong and you've got nothing better to do and you want to get nice and wet in the rain on the weekend, we're playing at Deakin Oval. You might even get a glimpse of Paddy Dangerfield and Gary Rowan if they have a bit of a run. A bit contentious, that issue, suspended players getting to go in the VFL practice matches and whatnot. But if you want to get along and support the VFL boys, I'm sure they'd love a few thousand people down there, or a few hundred, anyone along there to sort of cheer them along. I'm sure it means a lot to them. And as I said, Paddy will be there if you want to. I assume Paddy will get a game, but that'll be nice. Hopefully the boys. I'm quite confident about the VFL team this year. Hopefully they go okay. And just with the AFLW, a bit of news in the AFLW. I think the best and fairest is on tonight. I think probably Meg McDonald will probably take out the best player. I could be wrong about that. At the start of the year, I was hoping that Rocky, Rochelle Cranston, might get. I love her. Oh my God, she just reminds me. I just think Max Rook when I look at her. I just love her passion. She's my favourite player. Clearly, I love her to bits. But I reckon Meg the captain might win it. Be nice if she does. She was our only selection in the All Australian squad of 40, I think it was. Not sure what the final team will be, but Meg's had a great year and constantly in our best players. Couple of other sort of nods for the couple of younger girls in the team that were in the best of the 22 under 22 that have been picked. So we had Denby Taylor, Becky Webster, and Olivia Purcell. It's just absolute jet. So well done, girls, on your selection for that. Had a great year. Hopefully you'll build on that. Hopefully you'll hang around and be Cats players for many years to come, and we'll be there when we have a bit of success in a few years to come. Hopefully next year, as soon as next year, that'd be great. Just a bit of a farewell. I think I might have mentioned it on one of the other shows. Just a farewell to a couple of the girls that are moving on or retiring. Maddie Boyd, Nicole Garner, Mia Skinner, and Asta O'Connor, who's finishing up with us as well and going into retirement. It was good to have a farewell for her last game. So all the best, girls, with wherever your next journey. Wherever the journey takes you, whatever the next stage of life is, and hopefully, if you're keen on keeping your AFL season or your AFLW career going, hopefully you get picked up by another team, or maybe even Geelong picks you up again. Who knows? Just go talk to Lockie Henderson. He'll tell you all about that. Nearly won a grand final last year after being delisted, so it's not always the end of the road. So, if you want to move on to other things as well, footy's just a game at the end of the day. So. Anyway, that's the end of the show, guys. So thanks for your time. As I said off the top, if you really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. It all helps. And if you know any cat supporters that maybe haven't seen the show before and you want to shoot them the link, that'd be fantastic as well. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate that. And go Cats on Sunday afternoon. Cheers.